Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kansachanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. Om. Adorations to Lord Krishna, the preceptor of the universe, destroyer of the forces of darkness, bestower of immortality. Srimad Bhagavad Gita in 18th chapter. Om Shri Krishnaya Namah, Om Shri Krishnaya Namah, Om Shri Krishnaya Namah, Om Shri Krishnaya Namah. Verse number 20. This entire 18th chapter is dedicated to sadhana aspect. How to assimilate Om Tat Sat. Easily said, but it takes subtle process of assimilating it. When we assimilate in life, Om becomes a source of constant improvement, inspiration. That's why it's called pranava, ever new. It's just like saying, you have taken a trip to meet someone who is the embodiment of love. And so therefore your whole trip is inspiring. Even when there adversity comes in the trip, you ignore it, you transcend it. So that's Om. Tat gives you your goal, that absolute. Lift up your head, look up. Sat, move on the path, the right path. That means how to flow in your life, doing your integral yoga day by day. In order to be well enriched in the spiritual movement, you need to know the type of knowledge you must possess, jnana. The three types of jnana, Sattvic, Rajasic, Tamasic. Three types of karma, Sattvic, Rajasic, Tamasic. Three types of karta, doer of karma, Sattvic, Rajasic, Tamasic. Get into the details of this, that gives you a profound insight into how to enrich your daily life. 20th verse. Sarvabhuteshu yenaikam bhavam avyamimikshate avibhaktam vibhakteshu tadjnanam viddhi sattvikam. The knowledge by which one sees one imperishable being, that is God, Brahman, behind the objects that are apparently separate from each other. That knowledge is called Sattvic knowledge. Let me elaborate this point. First point, the most advanced statement, Brahma Satyam Jagan Mithya. Brahman alone is real. So whole world is a snake. Superimposed on Brahman. Brahman is a rope. That's the illustration is given constantly. Simple way to understand. People get quite confused. The concept of reality simply because you see things, touch things, follow your reasoning and come to a conclusion. That's not the truth. And that doesn't require much of effort. You see, it is perfectly scientific. You see the sky blue. Everybody sees it. Artists paint the sky and colors. But where is the sky? Can you touch it? Can you taste it? The sky is appearing blue for you because of your limitation in vision. It is not a reality. The world you are encountering is not the reality. Same situation, if your mind is very joyous and you have a profound involvement, for example, a mother loves her child so much that many difficult situations she faces as long as the child smiles. So, in other words, as you begin to understand that the world is not the reality, it opens the door to a deeper joy. Otherwise, you are dependent upon the world for your happiness and your happiness. Happiness implying what you want to do, your project. For easier understanding, always remember, think of your dream experience. In dream, three things have gone wrong. Those three is described as triad, triputi. Seer, seen and sight. Seer means dream subject. Because when you wake up, you say, this is what I dreamt. The I in you. But was that the real I experiencing in your dream? It wasn't. Otherwise, you can borrow so much money and pay it off in your dream. I'm joking, but it's true. But while in dream, that idea doesn't come to your mind, that it is a dream. Another point in your dream, the whole dream world. You can fly in your dream, you can see big oceans surging, you can see mountains. If you are a mountain climber, you will be finding yourself climbing heights after heights. And if you are a soldier, you may be fighting with great warriors. If you are a tantric, you are meeting with big demons. In all these experiences, it will be just like real. You are profoundly affected, harassed, touched. So the dream subject is unreal, the dream world is unreal, and your experiences of pleasure, pain, gain, loss, fulfillment, frustration, all experiences are false. But you come to realize it when you wake up. Or even while dreaming, if it dawns upon you that it is not real. Sometimes it happens, rarely. Now, knowledge, what happens to your knowledge in dream? You are looking at objects and they all seem real to you. So that knowledge is not Sattvic. If you were to develop that knowledge, that it is my own consciousness that has become everything in your dream. Your own consciousness has become all that you experience in your dream. Your consciousness has become the sky, has become the rainbow, become the mountains, become the surging ocean. It has become the lovely birds as well as screeching creatures, worms, viruses, eggs. Dream world has everything, you see. But what is real behind all that? Your own consciousness. Your own consciousness is being interpreted through your limited intellect in a wrong way, allowing that type of reasoning turn to the world, even from a scientific point of view. Senses cannot exactly reveal the truth. Senses have their limitations. Therefore, a doctor needs X-rays, machines. And I don't have to go into that science project. And all great scientists continue to explore the world, how big it is, how big is the universe. And every now and then the scientists, with their glaring eyes, they've discovered a new sun, the light of which has been coming to human earth after thousands of years. The human eyes see them as if it is there, just shining. But it is not there. All these are scientific facts. I'm not telling you to believe because I'm saying it. All this that I have said, if you try to understand it, that opens the door to the profound understanding. Aham Brahmasmi, I am, not the body, not the mind, not the ego. The I am is pure consciousness. And that pure consciousness is not one in the midst of many. It is the absolute non-dual self. That is jnana, wisdom, knowledge. Intellect that adopts a process of understanding. That intellect is pursuing Sattvic knowledge. The whole process is Sattvic. Sattvic is pure. Now, in practical life, what does it imply? If it begins to dawn upon you that you are different from body, mind, intellect, you are a soul that has gone through many embodiments, and this world is not running away from you, so don't be impatient. Therefore, as you bring in your life the virtue of serenity, patience, goodness of your heart, forgiveness, as you bring these great qualities, you are following the path of leading path of jnana that will climax, lead you to the ultimate. All is Brahman. It has two aspects. Brahman alone is. Another aspect, all this is Brahman. So in life, It opens the door to a special way of sadhana. Remembering God in every object of the world. Adoring God in all names and forms, easily said. But in your practice, begin with selected names and forms. And gradually grow. All names and forms. Everything is a progressive movement. When it is told, you are told the highest truth. But when you follow the truth, it is not coming to you in one step. That's where the big error comes. People hear a certain lecture of Vedanta. Oh, I know, Brahman alone is. I don't believe in those who go after Shiva and Rama and all that. Brahman. That's a stupidity. That has nothing to do with his spirituality. So, allow your mind to work upon it. That the world is filled with divine glory. Not only human beings and animals and birds, but all matter is permeated by divine presence. Permeated, again, is allegorical term. All matter is nothing but Brahman. All matter in your dream is nothing but your consciousness. Now coming to Rajasic knowledge. Prithaktvena tu yadjnanam nana bhavan prithagvidhan vetti sarveshu bhuteshu tadjnanam viddhi rajasam. The knowledge by which one sees multiplicity of beings because of their appearances, that's known as a Rajasic or impure. To understand that point, let me give you simple illustrations. You see this solar illumination in so many forms, rainbows, shimmering drops of water, shining clouds, and so many things. And each aspect of that illumination seems different from the other illumination. And your mind is fascinated. I will go to Switzerland to watch the rainbow. I'll go to India to see the stars. Miami doesn't have good stars. That type of knowledge, that creating in your mind distractions, that's called Rajasic knowledge. And distractions are created by being fooled by appearances. For profounder understanding, let me turn your attention to what we have talked in Raja Yoga. Say, for example, you're watching a cinema show. If you are a Sattvic observer, you are watching it and you are recognizing every actor. In your mind, you have the stories of the actor. I'm elaborating. That's not real Sattvic. Only implying that though you are watching it, you are not falling for the show, knowing that all these are being projected on the screen. The screen alone is this abiding reality before you, not the show. Similarly, all your experiences in the world are because of thought waves, vrittis. Vritti-based experience gives you all that you encounter in life, gain, loss, pleasure, pain, and so forth. which is known as bhava pratyaya. Vrittis create the world. If you have sattvic knowledge of a profound type, you become interested in not the projections of the mind, but what underlies the projections. And your movement is towards how to roll up this illusion. Two types of expectation. And one person expects, how can this scene move to another one? You are waiting for a more suspense. Why is the people delaying? Another angle, roll up this whole show. Why should I be diverted by this show? This is not real. That sattvic knowledge leads you to that rolling up of illusion. Rajasic knowledge keeps you in illusion, but gives you variations of illusion. And in Rajasic state, Rajasic knowledge, you do not find anything wrong with it. Now, regarding Tamasic knowledge, yattu krishnavadekasmin karye saktamahaitukam tattva rva vadalpam cha tattamasamudahritam. The knowledge which creates the illusion of perceiving the whole in one single effect, which is without any rational validity, without any purpose, and without any significance, is called Tamasic. Let me elaborate on that. Tamasic knowledge is that which creates illusion of perceiving the whole in one single effect, implying in your mind the whole world becomes distant. What you are after, led by your, say for example, giving a very crude illustration, you like to drink and would be drunken. Whole world goes on telling you drinking too much is bad, etc. Don't care. All rationalities are presented to you. What happens? You become addicted and don't become addicted. You don't care. The mind that has that type of knowledge, that again is working with a knowledge. That's his knowledge. That why should I care? And fall into cares. I just follow my whim and be careless. If that type of knowledge is Tamasic knowledge. But also should understand that every description has many degrees. Sometimes you may think you are doing something intelligent, but with a greater discrimination, greater vivek within you, greater subtle insight, come to realize that it is not. Then you make a correction. No one is rid of all the three gunas. The gunas apply to everyone. And you have to understand how much degree of sattva is there, whether you are moving to rajas, is it coming to be, are you going to control it? Again, just like in food, you have pickles, then you have many other items, all the three gunas are there. But you have to create a balance and allow sattva predominating. Allow that much to enter in you that will give you health. Don't let tamas, pickles, become predominating. Or simply taste becomes predominating. Just like I'm giving simple illustration. Similarly in life, all aspects of gunas are there. But don't let tamas dominate your mind. Don't let rajas restrict your intellect. Allow sattva to be overpowering in your personality. And that again happens in degrees, led by your satsanga, your daily practice of integral yoga and so forth. Without any purpose, the word has been used. That implies life has 4 purposes: dharma, artha, kama and moksha. Dharma is ethical value, artha material value, kama vital value, social value, moksha liberation. Rajasic knowledge not concerned with the fulfillment of these purposes. Rajasic knowledge disturbs the sequence. Dharma should be the basis in your life, for your progress, for your success. But Rajasic knowledge turns the table around. Not dharma, artha. Let me have a lot of money and then I will be a good person. Let me attain it by hook or by crook. And I will be a good person. Believe me. I will give a lot in charity. That type of thing is Tamasic thinking. It ends up evolving as a kind of demoniac personalities. Now 3 types of karma. Niyatab sangarahitam araga dveshatah kritam afala prepsuna karma tat sattvikam uchyate. The action that is performed with a sense of duty, without expectation of fruit, without dependence, and without attachment and hatred, that action is called Sattvic, pure. First point to understand. It's such a blessing in life that you flow like a river. Activity flows in you. You're not stuck with same situation and circumstance. Elaborate that point. Say, for example, you lived one day and in your mind it was a wonderful day. Exactly the time when you woke up, exactly the time when you got the tea, exactly the time you meet people. And you became so comfortable, you didn't have to understand. Servants gave you everything. Suppose that desire comes, oh God, give me the boon. Let me have like this always. That will be tragic. Another point, if you had the knowledge of everything that is going to happen, your mind is not going to face anything new. You know already. You got the master astrologer. You know all details, everything that happens already. Trikalagya, past, present and future. Life will have no happiness or joy, no inspiration. So therefore, one must develop that profound insight that it's God's blessings that allows you to be involved in a karmic process. That karmic process now opens the door for your building up of your willpower. Grace and Purushartha, they play a great part. If your action is Sattvic, you will discover increasing willpower within yourself, increasing free will. And you will also experience miracles of divine grace. And therefore, challenges that come in your life will not put you in a state of absolute despair, but rather a sense of adventure. Because your mind has already experienced, led by your effort and blended with grace, amazing things you have overcome. And that process has not stopped. The more you bring in your life, greater is joy in flowing on. So ultimately, what does it imply? It's called pravaha patita karma. Karma is flowing like a stream. And you simply take advantage. Follow the opportunity that comes in your life. An opportunity comes in both ways, adversity and prosperity. You have to be hungry in order to enjoy food. Hunger is not comfortable. I'm joking. Adversity gives you opportunity for austerity. It tests your patience, tests your faith. It allows you to discover subtle touch with God. How can I have it? Allow you to turn to prayer, meditation, and turning to satsanga. If all people are happy, satsanga doors will be always closed. So therefore, first point, understanding it is a blessing to be involved in activity. Next point, without the expectation of fruit. When children play, they are not expecting something to happen. Similarly, the idea I will do very well if I know how much money I am getting. But if the person who is going to give you 50% of what you expect, he will not do 10% of that work, 50% work. That understand. Doing any job you handle in a profound way is your own satisfaction. It immediately gives you joy, how wonderfully you have done it. The real joy comes automatically when you do your duty in a perfect way. You discover your ability, how does your brain work? You look at your fingers, how do they type? And another point, your faith tells you that if you have done your duty well, its result will be wonderful. But it will not exactly be like what your ego has expected. So you become detached from ego's expectation without feeling badly about it. That's called nishkamya. Generally, people have a hard time understanding it. If I'm not interested in the fruit of action, then what's the use doing the duty? Why should I plant a mango tree when I'm not going to eat from it? So try to understand that aspect of not expecting and doing the duty automatically. When you find great joy in performing action, you are amazed to see how much discipline you can give to your body, to your speech, to your mind, how much you can improve your memory power, the power of your understanding. People who are expert performer of action, they have a special type of joy in their personality. And that all that becomes possible. So your movement in activity itself is a profound yoga. And you will not start saying, I'm not getting time to do yoga. And don't separate that yoga from the right activity that you are involved in. Both are yoga, both are needed. Your meditation, etc., along with activity. Now, coming to Rajasic. Yattu kamepsuna karma saham karena va punah kriyate bahulayasam tadraja samudahritam. The action that is performed with the expectation of fruit, with the sense of egoism, and with great exertion, that action is called Rajasic. Try to understand. When you do your duty, firstly, your heart is not with it. Consider it, this duty shouldn't have come to me. I deserve to be in big office, and I've been given a farm to work on. How wonderful it is to stay in the office. And so forth. Another point, even when you do your duty work, your mind is working. Will I be paid? Will be paid in time? Will I be criticized because I have not succeeded in doing certain things? And then, since you are not enjoying the work you are doing, your mind develops another type of concern. When will I have vacation? And how much money is needed for a good vacation? If you are a Sattvic worker, your work, being involved in it, is the best of all vacations. You are enriched wherever you are. Rajasic, your work is mixed up with lots of expectations. Money, plan for where you must go, securing more money with insurance, worrying about how to pay all that. I'm just joking, but these are realities of life. The majority of people don't do swadharma. And most glaring aspect is people are always looking for retired estate. Go to Miami. You live your life with tiredness, and then you get retired. Tiredness is enforced. And I will not discuss more. Think of all the miseries, all the problems. Watch your body age, lose everything that you have worked for, and find your life hollow. That's the result of Rajasic, Tamasic activity. Rajasic activity. And I will give you one more. That's Tamasic karma. Anubandham kshayam hinsam anapekshya cha paurusham mohat arabhyatam karma yat tat tamasamuchyate. The action that is undertaken on the basis of delusion, moha, without taking into consideration its painful consequences, without any regard to the loss and the injury that is involved in it, and also without any regard to one's capacity, is called tamasic. Now these are very clear. If you are looking at the world and we are listening to the news all the time, well, this is easy to understand. How people have taken many projects just out of vanity, out of delusion. And they think they will be successful. Nobody will know. But then the karma brings about its result in a mysterious way. So, people who are following the path of unethical movement, entering into activities based on falsehood, deception, cruelty, those karmas become tamasic karmas. But one who is involved in tamasic karma does not have the subtle understanding, without the consideration of its painful consequences, without any regard to the loss and the injury. Think of all those people who become terrorists. They don't know. They get involved with activity. What the results are going to be, the mind has not thought of it. They don't have the mind to care for it. They move away even from ordinary, normal life of happiness and harmony. But in the name of some narrow-minded concept, they are going to serve Allah. What they say is a distortion of their own mental psychology. Mentally, they are not normal. They don't know how to handle their abnormality. Now that takes a color. joining with a sectarian type of influence, without recognizing that you are suffering from a mental sickness, you begin to develop another idea. Oh, this, why didn't I think of it? If you can terminate so many people, my problem will go. How happy will I be? I'm giving very nasty color, but that's what all the scriptures do. All the stories of Rama, Ravana and Kansa, and so many are killed. That those are all in the scriptures. Many of those stories are allegorical. But in real life, you are seeing that story manifesting in so many ways. The world is always in a state of turmoil. And led by moha. Let me give you a crude way to understand. Someone needs a good doctor to treat him. But his friend says, look, I have a tantrika. Come with me. Don't go to any doctor. He has a psychic power. I mean, there may be certain cases that may have a totally different meaning. I'm trying to illustrate how, led by moha, you give wrong advice to a person. Sometimes knowingly you are deceiving, and sometimes unknowingly because of moha. The mother says to the child, don't grow up. Stay with me. Even if you grow up, don't go to school. Here. Don't you love me? School will not give you that love. You have all the love here. Don't you know how much I love you? And the eyes shine. The word of moha. Lots of activities go on in all families and all types of things. Moha element is there. And I think I've talked enough. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om.